Welcome in, y'all. Timeshare Clarence. This is gonna be a health/fitness update because I think that's the only thing I got time to record right now. I got a lot of other stuff on my mind. Want to talk about my dad, his influence on me. Want to talk about my family, my ex-wife, my kids, my parents, my siblings, cousins, all that good stuff. I don't want to just ramble. So with all of that being said, today I just want to focus on kind of where I'm at, where I started, what I've done, and I guess my takeaways. So I'm only going to go back to January. I have been doing intermittent fasting, and I started at 12 hours and I'm up to 14 hours. I think as far as days where I actually attempted to do the time, I've only not done it 3 times, I believe. And I'll check that because I got this app that I track it on. So where did I start? So New Year's, I was like 239 and I started just doing 12 hours and I wasn't consistent with the time as far as like when I would start and stop. I was just consistent with that I would at least fast 12 hours. So what I learned was if I ate late at night, then I still wouldn't get as good of results because basically how I would feel in the morning when I woke up, I would still feel sluggish. Sometimes my food wouldn't be all the way digested. So then it would obviously have an impact on me doing my jog, my walk, and just kind of start my morning off wrong. So at this point, I believe that about 7 o'clock should be my cutoff. Ideally, it would be 5. And that's as long as I'm going to sleep relatively early. So, before 10, like it's really not a big deal for me to stop eating at 5 p.m. The challenge is I'm not always home and able to do that. So that's a little bit of kind of a window. So ideally for me, what I've learned is I would like to, and it's probably most beneficial for me, to eat dinner between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. and then fast from that point on until the next morning. So that's one. So in January, I was just jogging, just call it a block. And I did that every day. I was just doing about 40 push-ups. I did that every day. I was recording a lot more consistently. So that's the other thing that I learned. I just need to record when I finish my lap because that was the routine at that point. And not only was that my best month as far as physically, it was also my best month at my job. So the priority is to get back to that as well. So in January, I went from basically 239 and change down to 232. And really, I feel like the only significant difference was focusing on intermittent fasting, and I was only doing 12 hours at the time. So in February, I had a couple breaks because I was trying to get some things taken care of. So I took a couple trips to St. Louis. So now what's critical about that is when I was in St. Louis, I did not maintain my routine as far as like exercise at all. But I was able to do it for the intermittent fasting for the first trip. So at the point where I got through the month of January and I had lost, call it 7 pounds. So February, it was just like, all right, I want to readjust my goal from just monitoring on a monthly basis and switch it to weekly. So then to set a simple goal, I just set out to lose 1 pound per week and also keep in mind wherever I'm supposed to be. So if I started at 232, the goal was 231. If I hit 230, then I would reset the goal. I wouldn't give myself any leeway all right, I got 2 pounds, so I'm good for 2 weeks. Then I would reset the goal at the beginning of the week based off wherever I'm at. So, went from 232 to 230, 229, 228. And then this is a couple weeks into the month, going into the last week of the month, and I had another break. So for that week, I actually intended on trying to maintain my routine when I got to St. Louis, because I was going to be there for an extended period of time. It wasn't just a couple of days. I would be there over a week. I believe it actually ended up being about 10 days. So with that being said, I got to St. Louis. I got my kids, and I didn't care. I made a conscious decision that, hey, because it's also a financial component to this. My kids ask me to do things and ask me for things, and I will tell them, they got to wait until I get some money. So when I get some money, then I'm going to always try to follow through, because I feel like that was a lot of my disappointment. My dad telling me that he would do stuff and then not do it. So got the kids. We going out to eat. I'm going out to eat, ordering food. We were staying at an embassy suite, so I'm getting, made to order omelets and pancakes for breakfast every morning. So just completely fell off the wagon, and then I returned home. So I was on track. I was doing well, and then I basically just chalked it all up. And I came back home, and I was back up. I was actually over where I started the year. So I think I got home on the 2nd, March 2nd, from being in St. Louis from February 23rd. So now I get back home, I'm 240. And the first couple of days, I kind of felt, man, how long is it going to take? Me and my sister, we check in every day with our weight. So she kind of gave me some words of encouragement, because I sent like one of them emojis, because I was frustrated with the fact that I put all this weight back on. But it really, after a couple days, then it was kind of the readjustment physically. The first 2 days, it was very challenging to do my jogging. It wasn't so bad for my push-ups, but once I got back into the routine, I felt good enough. So I have actually increased my morning lap to almost twice the distance. So this is about an extra 2 miles now. So third day in, hit my lap. I don't know what happened. It was kind of crazy day at work, but I fasted longer than I intended to. And then the next day, like, my weight was down like 5 pounds. So with that being said, circumstances, whatever. But I ended up getting back closer to where I wanted to be a lot sooner than I expected to. So now, like this morning when I weighed in, I was back at 232. So it's essentially been a week. I came home last Saturday and I was 240. And then today I'm 232. So I lost 8 of the probably, I think, 13 pounds that I gained in St. Louis. So again, just get back to the routine. And that kind of reinforced my thought process anyway, which is, I don't have my kids all the time. I don't have had an opportunity to treat my kids or treat my ex-wife, whatever, their mom. So, and I do feel like I want to treat them, not only them, my sister, my mom, like people that I haven't always been able to do things for. If I'm in a position, then I want to provide those experiences, have quality dining, quality experiences. The kids get the things that they want. Sophia and Mike, I'm gonna get them an iPad. So again, this is why I said I was gonna do the health thing, because the videos would be super long, because it'd be so much on my mind, and it's all related. So anyway, point is, my thought process is simply that you are ultimately what you do the majority of the time. So even though it was a week or a week and a half where I was completely undisciplined, I'm disciplined the majority of the time. So even though I may have taken a small step back, it's not actually gonna stop my progress. So I think that was good. So with all of that being said, learned a couple lessons. Intermittent fasting for me is definitely the thing that I feel like I will prioritize more so than diet. I haven't been necessarily eating healthy, but by me not eating late in the evening, I feel like had a tremendous impact. So I definitely would recommend intermittent fasting to the people that can tolerate it. I've been walking a lot, so I walk to work, walk home. I hit a lap in the morning, I jog, but I'm still jogging less than a mile. So it's not like the jogging is the thing more so than walking, but still just making things easy, giving myself some grace when I don't do what I'm supposed to, trying to make sure I do something every day. There have been a couple days where I didn't jog, but only a couple. And, I didn't feel well, but I still did something. So, do whatever I can do. Don't make excuses. Also, don't be so rigid that I don't take a break and don't feel like if I'm not perfect that I failed because, it doesn't have to all go smooth. It doesn't have to all be perfect. It doesn't have to all go the way you plan. But if you get off track, just get back on track and keep moving forward. So with all that being said, I feel good about where I'm at. And that is kind of what's going on so far. So what I learned is intermittent fasting is more important to me, at least, than diet. I do feel like when I focus on my diet, I'll have better results, but I'm kind of trying to take one thing at a time, get used to it. Consistency is the key, but also, if you're working hard, like, don't feel bad about treating yourself. Don't feel bad about rewarding yourself, because ultimately you'll bounce back because that's who you are, and you deserve to have something that's fulfilling. You deserve to do something for yourself. You deserve to do something for the people that you care about and want to. I also, went out with a couple of my coworkers from my group, and we had a meal, and I had a great time, and I felt like that enhanced both relationships. But with that being said, that's the update. Intermittent fasting, consistency, little bit of break, but get back on track. Just keep pushing yourself. But more importantly, just keep doing something every day. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Until next time, peace.